Wait, what? It said an error occurred.
An error?
Yeah, hold on. Let me try again.
All right.
What's up?
What is going on? What is going on, sir? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. What are you doing right now? How is your toy evening?
I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great and everything. So it feels like I've seen you a couple of times before. Maybe because we were recording damn near most of the day.
Maybe. Hey, look, there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
I'm always excited to see your gorgeous face, though. I'm going to tell you
absolutely.
one thing.
What's up?
There's probably not any sexier sons of bitches on the internet than us right now.
I
Oh,
will agree with you only
yeah.
in protest.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Hey, look, we got a giant show for you today, and by giant, I mean literally probably just the same amount of time as normal. But you wouldn't know that because you got to subscribe, like, and follow, share, thumbs up, thumbs down, and leave your comments below and all that great stuff. We're gonna get into Joefest 2024, the aftermath of Joefest, and some crazy SDCC Element OP announcements that happened that I'm not happy about. And hey, Hasbro, stop moving your shit up. A lot of people don't know this, but I was actually the model for that thing.
You did the motion capture for that?
Motion capture. Mr. Meeks, B2G, welcome. Yo. Hey, side note, new episode of Joystick Junkies coming soon.
Oh, snap. Meeks is putting it down, huh?
Watch out. Meeks is throwing that down the hallway.
We know that Meeks had to carry you on that one too, man. Meeks, thanks. Good job, bro.
Yeah, thank you, Meeks, for carrying my ass all the way down the train tracks. Hey, so I feel like crap today. I might have got some heat stroke because I was outside. It was like 100 some plus, and I just didn't stop. I was putting up a canopy to protect me from the heat.
Yeah. Okay.
It turns out that I think I just tapped out and my body just fell over. So if I look like I'm a little slow today, it's no different than any other day. However, I just man. What about you? How's the temperature over in Cali?
Oh, brother, it is. It's hot and everything. It's so hot here. It makes me want to get my soul right because there's no way I want to end up in the other hot place at the end.
Closer.
Yeah, wow. Getting up there in age and everything is what the double heat to get me. But no, it's burning up here, man. And you know what? When it's East Coast, middle of the United States, at the end, we've done some bad things.
Oh, for sure, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, there's a. We got a great show coming up on Friday. I'm excited about that.
Absolutely.
Really excited about that. Maybe we'll get into some action figure talk about that.
Yeah.
Friday. I don't know yet. I'm debating. There's do we have so much to cover? I guess.
Yeah.
I guess let's. Where do you want to start? Let's hit. Obviously, we're gonna start with Joefest.
Yeah, absolutely.
But where do you want to start on that?
Well, we'll start with Meeks. Yeah, Meeks, because Meeks out here in Southern California with me too, so it's burning up and everything. So yeah, I feel you, brother. It's absolutely torture. Now we're going to start off. You know what? Here's the thing. I know you went to Joefest, and so we had some representation there, and that was highly important because we want to be at the shows or when I think we were discussing next year, we're gonna probably do one day at Joefest and then try to do the Dallas Fort Worth show, DFW Joe show.
Yeah.
We'll see if that happens. I know we got a video coming up later in the week. Everything. Oh, my man popped in, and then Mr. Darth Moocher.
Howdy.
Our buddies over the Sorlac Digest that comes on right after us. Make sure you guys check them out.
Because if you don't, I'll crash your computer.
Absolutely. But the one thing that I was looking at was how cool was Ace from Ramen Toys, man?
Man, I'm gonna lay it out for you.
Yeah.
Rad. Ace, such a good dude, man.
Yeah.
Really welcoming. I met him. I walked up, said, "Hey, we really enjoy you. Jumped on our cast, and when we were doing the unbox of the Ramen Racer, I was really excited about it. I wanted to come over and get some FaceTime with you. We appreciate it. Would love to have you on." But he was welcoming, man. He was so awesome. Really humble dude. He asked to take my picture, which was fun, which was rad. So I said sure, but I got to get one with you as well. And so I mean, really cool. Look, if you haven't checked out Ramen Toys and you're at a convention, you get a chance to check out Ramen Toys. Not only is he awesome, the people that he brings with him to the booth is awesome. I was able to purchase a display unit from him, and I'm excited about that.
Awesome.
And so just waiting for it to show up. But I did get we went over and did a quick run through.
Yeah.
I did get the convention exclusive, we'll call it Thunder Knot Hawk. But yeah, man, he was cool. I really like the ace of whatever they're called.
Aviation, yeah, the aces of aviation.
I want to say ace of spades. Yeah, aces of aviation were awesome. They were really cool to see.
Then you saw the Marshall as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. They didn't have Marshall.
Oh, so he didn't even have a mock-up. Okay.
No, you're talking about the toy.
Other, the other guy. Yeah.
No, they didn't have that. They had the bread box.
Wow.
They had that one there, which was cool. Not designed like the Alphabet Team.
Yeah.
They did have it there. We got to talk a little bit through there. He let me in on some secrets about stuff he's going to work on, which
we're not going to divulge here.
I am excited about. But then I got to see that the tank is unreal, my friend.
Which it's an item that lays bricks. So you have to change our bridges. So item that lays bridges.
Unreal.
I saw the photos of that, and I saw the video.
Yeah.
And what I have in my mind, you imagine before you see the renderings that he has, great photos and everything else. But when you saw the video, you're like, oh my Lord, that thing is massive.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it. I think he overexceeded even the people, the Hasbros, because wow, brother.
You saw the effects on it, right?
Heck
it comes with that.
Yeah, wow.
That thing is it was like this big, dude. If you have a mic arm, I just want you all to know this mic arm, it was that big.
Yeah,
and there's two of them, and it seats two 6-inch figures.
It does
side by side.
And it actually has two figures, and so he's produced his own 6-inch line of driver and I think the mechanic or engineer. I think it's driver and engineer, and they looked fantastic. And I was like, I don't know in any way, shape, or form. This is almost a have to purchase thing.
Yeah.
The only problem is I don't know where the hell I'm going to put it, because this thing is literally the size of two HISS tanks.
The only reason why I didn't get it is because the thing that I did buy from him that's showing up is something I normally don't buy.
Yeah,
but seeing it in person, I mean, I saw when you unboxed it.
Yeah,
dude,
it's awesome, brother. It's awesome.
I'm telling you right now, I already ordered my. You saw the figure I ordered.
I saw
my Ghost Rider, my vintage Ghost Rider that I'm gonna swap out. So, yeah, I mean, look, cool. It was cool stuff, man. And then also holy grails that were there.
I saw
there were a few. What did you see that caught your eye?
First of all, was the massive flag display.
Dude,
that you saw. We featured that in the video that's coming up later in the week. But that And when he was like, "Oh, this is my 6th build. I'm gonna go home and do my 7th." I was like, "My goodness, man."
You heard that, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is that? So for those of you that don't know, there's a guy that actually takes USS flags, and then builds 4 more levels underneath it, and then also designs them. And everyone he builds, he designs different. One of them had an arcade. Another one is just like the barracks that would be in the ship, and it is awesome. And here's the thing: it's actually more doable than just having
Yes.
one,
Yes.
because it's on wheels.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I want to be honest too. Like, that's the first time I've seen a USS flag put together just in real life. I've never seen, but I don't really like go
Yeah.
down
And
the Joe lane. So,
yeah.
but
No,
that was
I've
cool.
seen probably 10 or 15 in my lifetime. One in personal people's collections, and then some at shows.
Yeah,
But that was like the time and the detail. He had a galley. He had barracks. He had there was just so much, and lights and everything. There was so
yeah.
much detail in that, and I was like, wow. And that's why we said it's like the USS Flab upgrade, like a retrofit. Like they just took the flag to the yard, retrofitted it out, and
Mhm.
they're sending it up on its way. But wow, man, that
It
was a
was
thing of
awesome.
beauty, bro.
And then
The
I did see
Defiant that you saw.
the Defiant was rad. Really quick, I did see
Mm.
2 flags in box.
Yes, well, you'll see that in almost every
Yeah,
show.
I was very tempted to just kind of accidentally
Mm.
purchase that.
Yeah, I think I
But
should
yeah,
do
but yeah,
it.
I did see the Defiant, which is always awesome to see. I've
Yeah.
seen those before.
Yeah,
But
but that one was fully put together, right?
yeah, it was 100% complete.
Yeah, see, that's extremely rare to get the 100. There's usually 1 or 2 or maybe, several parts.
Yeah.
But that thing looked close to like almost out of the box close.
No, it was super. There wasn't even dust on it, I don't think.
Yeah, wow.
It was super clean.
Yeah. No yellows, no effects. I saw the original because I've been seeing like the Joe headquarters. This was the original one from the 80s. There's one that was put out in the 90s that looks complete. It's like the Joe Command Center. Looks a little different. So a lot of people mistaken that, thinking that's the Joe base.
80s.
No, this was the one that came out in the 80s. That was cool. It had a Mobac in it, a bunch of other figures that look great. Sitting right next to a Pterodome. Like, where's at a place that you could see the flag, the Defiant, the headquarters, and the Pterodome, all in just an area. That's
Dude,
what was amazing, man.
it was totally awesome, man.
Yeah.
I appreciated it, just being able to see that stuff.
Mhm.
There's so much there, man. Like,
Well, I had a list of it because I wanted to make sure, because we want to give everybody the due credit, so we're going to give you the definitive breakdown. And like Mr. Maddox said, and if you know, there you go. So we were checking out Fresh Monkey Fiction, had great Operation Monster Force there. Those figures, they had a couple of exclusives that were there. Really great looking figures. They were translucent too. That's what was awesome about it. Fresh Monkey Fiction, if you're not paying attention to them, and if you're not paying attention to Ramen Toys, you're doing yourself disservicing, because they are the small boutiques that at one time are going to compete with the big boys, because
absolutely 100%.
they're like, I think it's like, you got the tiers of Bobby Vala and Valavorce, and then you've got like, Ramen Toys, and you've got Operation Monster Force. And I've seen some of the stuff they're doing. That stuff was fantastic. I was also looking at, just a couple of the customizers there. That's what I enjoy a little bit more, is the customizers that are at the event. And there was a lot of 3 3/4 molds that they were doing. Person I met here from SoCal, Joe Show, Animat Toys. He has some custom stuff out there. I think
Man, his booth was awesome. I did try to stop by and grab his ear real quick, but they didn't know where he was at, so I didn't have a lot of time, and I couldn't really like wait around. Their booth was awesome, man.
Yeah, they had. I'm telling you that's what is like. I think if there was, I know they had some Cold Sliver from the cartoon. They had some action figures there and some other stuff. That was really awesome. Like, it's, again, there was just look. It looked like a great time, and of course, obviously, the pinnacle of all Joe shows, they had the Sarge there.
Yeah, they did.
And I saw something that was very interesting too. that I guess on Friday night, the Sarge went down to the hotel bar, and apparently he was mingling with the toy YouTubers that were down there.
Hmm.
And I thought that that was cool because, generally, if we've been to Comic-Con and everything. I think I've only seen like somebody that's mingled with the fans
Yeah.
was actor Thomas Jane, and it didn't end well. He said he did mingle at the bar with us. Maybe he probably shouldn't have. But I saw the Sarge down there, and he was just, making his rounds around the room. The man's larger than life. And he really deserves the accolades that he gets because he is the living embodiment and a brand ambassador, and he really takes that job seriously, man.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I didn't want to take a picture with him, but he's still
Yeah,
cool.
well, no,
He,
like I said,
he
again,
was
there's certain great things about that, and I'm like, but it's nice that you're able to see that a lot of great artists that were there. I think it's a good event. We were talking last week about just the only thing I think is that it needs to be a little bit more inclusive to the other sub like GI Joe like teams and companies.
yeah,
I that's the one aspect I think that it would have been nice. I think two competing shows on the same weekend. I did not like that in the aspect is that you really want to go to you don't have to pick and choose.
yeah,
So, you picked and choose, you went to that show and it had Sergeant Slaughter and a lot of the toy YouTubers and, really the big dogs. And then there was the Dallas Fort Worth show that had Valaverse and they had good crowds there too. But, you like to see it like the San Diego Comic-Con. There's not a Comic-Con competing that same weekend with it. I don't want to see the New York Comic-Con go up against the San Diego Comic-Con. I don't want to pick and choose. I like
yeah.
to go to one and then go to the other.
Well, if you're running the convention too, you're also doing yourself a disservice because
I think
if you're
so.
just starting or you're smaller, you're not going to win
Yeah, yeah.
because people know what they're getting in the other ones and they have no clue what they're getting with yours. There
True.
was one thing that I saw there that I'll be honest with you, man. I didn't know too much about it, and then just seeing it, I was like, I want this. I didn't have anywhere to put it. It's the 3 3/4 figures. It was called Skeletron.
Oh, I have seen those. Hmm.
The Skeletron is
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
get a chance to talk with the peeps at the booth there, but
Mhm.
I wanted to, but they had all their figures out and the big skull head
Mhm.
with the wings on it, and it was like, dude, it's awesome, man. It's cool. I liked it. It was fun.
What was your impression of? Did you go by Delta 17 booth?
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
looking pretty good too. And
yeah,
then I know
those
you
are doing pretty
saw
good.
Savage Crucibles.
Savage Crucible is awesome. Yeah, that
Mhm.
they are the booth was big. It was a
Mhm.
wall. It was like one of the main walls.
Wow.
But they had Savage Crucible there, and then they had the guy that was making all the soft goods. And I did
Oh,
ask
okay.
if he could make purple shorts. But
Yeah.
that conversation, I don't think he understood what I was asking for.
Yeah.
So I did see them. I also got to talk to the Animal Warriors
Of
of
the
the
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Hmm.
Yeah, they were there. That whole group of people, they're awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
The figures are amazing in person. Like,
I have seen them. Hmm.
there's a few that I wanted, but I was very specific on what I needed to get when I was there.
Yeah, of course.
But I will be picking up a few that I saw because they are just awesome. They would just be
Mhm.
rad to have, like just as
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
a piece.
Well,
Um,
it's kind of making it hard because there's one thing too. I was also rad. We were talking about this, and he actually started the ball rolling because again, I know we've been talking about like cutting down some of our lines and everything, and then when we do that, it's like just as a lie we tell ourselves. But also with Fresh Monkey Fiction, they had Kilowog, what was the giant werewolf with the Gatling gun. And I know I saw a photo of it there, and he was like, we were texting, he was like, I had to pull the trigger on that, man. And the minute he said that, I was looking at it like, when are you going to get a werewolf with a Gatling gun? You know what? I had to pull the trigger on that.
yeah,
So I can understand when you're talking about the, AWOC characters. like, yeah, it's like, oh, I'm not going to do any other lines. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe just this one character from the line. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like I'm very adamant about like I'm not doing any other lines. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna do a line that's not mainstream.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm all about I'm happy supporting like up and coming ones. But my as far as like mainstream lines, like I've definitely narrowed it, like calmed down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool, man. There's they there wasn't too many exclusives. I think there's one booth that was doing like a 3 3/4 inch exclusive
Okay.
Baroness.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't they didn't have any. I was trying to see if I could get one.
Now I know that
$25.
I know Super 7 also made some announcements about the 3 3/4 Joe figures that was popping up
Mhm.
all weekend long. I don't know, did they have a booth there as well? Did you see that?
So they were kind of in the mix with like Big Bad Toy Store, Super 7,
Okay.
Ramen Toys, like that area. They were there.
Okay.
I didn't To be honest with you, like I'm not somebody that looks for Super 7.
Yeah, no.
I can't
Mhm.
like Super 7, they make some great things. They
They do.
honestly do.
Mhm.
But I'm not it's not something that I bought 2 figures from Super 7
Mhm.
and I just haven't been happy with any of them, and the price points are too high, and it's
Mhm.
like,
Well, it kind of rolls out that there's like Hot Toys and Mondo, and there's that
mm,
ultra high level where you just become a boutique kind of guy. Then it's the Super 7 NECA where they're higher than everybody else. And every now and then their scopes and everything match up to it. And then it's certain like you think it's like, well, it's kind of way overpriced for what I got.
yeah,
And then you throw it down to Hasbro, Mattel, and all the rest of them there where their figures are kind of at a balanced level where they're more collectible and price wise for economic dollar usage and everything.
mhm, yep,
One of
yeah,
the main points too is that with NECA, and this is the thing I kind of have been kind of really thinking about lately because a friend posed that to me, is that he was like, "Why is Alf the same price as like a Ninja Turtle?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Because he's half the mold, man." So he's like, "It's not like he's a really big figure. You're paying like the same amount of him for like a taller, bigger, bulkier with more accessory items." And I was like, "You know what, brother? I didn't think about that." And I was like,
yeah.
"You're right. You're not using as much plastic, man." So I'm like, well, because they can price point for what they want to price point. They're price pointing for nostalgia.
Well, there's also probably a licensing fee that's higher
I'm sure too. I'm sure too.
because Alpha is amazing. So that brings us into kind of the next topic, which is like the SDCC 2024 stuff.
Hmm.
They did have their exclusive. Today was day one of
They did.
exclusives.
You talking about
Are
NECA?
you? Yeah, I'm talking about NECA.
Hmm.
Are you into anything?
Nothing yet. Day one, no. I didn't see anything. I think they had Alf. They had the translucent predator from Prey. They had Nosferatu,
Yep.
and I think they had the two turtles. That is all the
Yep.
two turtle designs. And then I think there was the dinosaur, the Earl
Earl.
in this super costume, something else like
Yeah.
that. And again, people are diving big into that dinosaur line. I didn't think it was
Well,
still
I
that
think
popular.
yeah, I think the dinosaur line is a great use of IP.
Hmm.
Here's my thing about that superhero one though. I wish they would have just released like a pack of clothes for people that had already bought because like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go that deep on the dinosaur line.
Well,
Like
somebody probably.
I have Earl and then Baby Sinclair and Earl Sinclair. And then if they do like any other ones from there, like Robbie, like I'll get that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like it's cool. I'm glad you did that exclusive. It's not for me. Hopefully, someone
Yeah.
else. I mean, it was obviously for somebody though because they sold out.
Yeah. Well, no, no, no. Let me tell you something. Either, one or two things. They're really selling out or they're just putting the term sell out on it, just to make it seem better. But I think legitimately there are people
Yeah,
that are
I think
like,
I think
just like the Hasbro has it's certain people that I only do Hasbro and there's people that only do Mattel. There are people that only do NECA.
yeah. I mean, I think they legitimately sold out.
I think they did.
I ended up getting the Ninja Turtles. There's no
Mhm.
way that I wasn't going to get
Of
those.
course.
I bought them and I hated myself for it, and I angry purchased them because they were $70.
Jeez.
And I got 2 packs
Okay.
because I wanted all 4 turtles.
Mhm.
But I'll be honest, it's the first time I ever had like reasonable shipping costs on NECA. So I think my total was like 163. But $12.99 of that was shipping, which is not bad.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's like average if you're not Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I don't have to go
Yeah,
to
it's close about it. Yeah.
I don't have to go to SDCC. What's crazy about these that I realized is that they're 7-inch.
Okay. Oh well. All right. So they give a little bit extra plastic. Okay. Well,
Yeah, so like I have the Playmates ones.
Which are very reasonable in price.
Yeah, I got all 4 of them for under $50.
Yeah, it's real reasonable in price for that.
So, which I'm convinced at this point that Playmates is going to come out with a premium line.
I'm sure they have to,
and I will drop every other line.
Oh, I think at one point they'll do like Marvel Creations or the HasLab. They'll have the Playmates, whatever they're going to call that, and they'll go down the crowdfunding route, and I think they can absolutely get it because I can see like them releasing something like maybe a more detailed turtle blimp or something, and there's extra situations and controls and lights and everything. I can see them getting away with that, man.
Sewer playsets again.
I'm sure, but after NECA did the sewer thing, which was way too high, and I think our buddy Ramen has, I think it's called the modular, they have theirs coming out, which is a lot more reasonable. I don't know, people might be sewered out.
Yeah, it's very specific. There is a company I wanted to call out. It was the Sci-Fi Diorama guy. And he sells something that's called, if you go to sci-fi-dioramaguy.com, they're basically just like dioramas that he has that could fit on a shelf.
Oh, okay.
And they have a bunch of different peg holes in it. But then there's like 60 different backgrounds you could use between Star Wars and like everything else. And so it's really meant for the 3 3/4 figures, like O-ring style.
Okay.
But it is awesome. Like it's a really cool idea. It's neat. I think it's something different. So like if you're looking for something to like kind of spice up your shelf a little bit, and you do the 3 3/4 and the and you do O-ring stuff, then that's definitely something you want to check out. Yeah.
Well, more dioramas, more good play sets and things like that are never a bad thing, Actually thinking of the Turtles, what if they did Baxter's Building?
Dude, they've never done that. I think.
I think what did they? Because I was just started thinking like, what if you're going to do a premium situation? Maybe it should be like Baxter's Building to do it. Okay. Oh yeah, that is kind of cool.
So this is really cool.
Yeah.
You could see like you can let's see, where's it at? Yeah. So here's like.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, so this is the board where you can move them. Here's what it looks like having them all in. So it's really cool, man. And you can switch it all out. Like they have like just everything you can put on there for Star Wars, and then they do even more than that. So it is really cool. Like this was one they had set up, which was awesome. Like, I mean, that's creative, man.
Somebody's put some thought in it. Yeah, there's some thought put into it.
So it was cool.
Yeah,
I was happy to see that. I like seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, well, we like the big guys, but we damn straight love the little guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see it, man.
SDCC, we have another video, so we won't get too far into how we feel about the pre-order stuff. But you and I both agree it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people. Look, I know San Diego Comic-Con has soured in a lot of people's mouths, and it's absolutely, they are right on the situation for feeling that way. I think that the convention has the guys in San Diego do their own stuff, and they don't necessarily look at it from an aspect of that. They have this. They're a nonprofit organization, yet they are the one people that are doing damage to the industry as well because of some of their ideals and situations that are harming the thing. San Diego Comic-Con is basically an event for comics fans, and they've been kind of like we had 2 years where everyone was sitting back and they were enjoying the convention. Toy companies had people coming up to the booths, comic vendors, some of the comic artists that artist allies and everything who make their bread and butter at some of these conventions. We're getting a lot of attention. And then we hear, like, the people at San Diego always chase the clout, and they chase the Hollywood clout kind of scenario. And then we hear that this year, I'm like, oh man, I'm looking forward to another great year. A couple of vendors and everything can really kind of shine. And then we hear that they pulled the switcheroo for us, and they are having Marvel do the Hall H crap again. And I was like, see, now so the guys that after the pandemic and after you didn't have conventions that were live and everything, and they came back and they threw their hard dollars in and they busted their behinds and they really rebuilt that convention, you just spit in their face by having, Marvel show up, who abandoned you and said, hey, we're going to do D23. We don't have to do your shows anymore. But because they've been tanking and they've been producing crap, see, they need to build some of that goodwill again. So let's just use these comic book people and these toy lovers to the best ability. That's something that I just think, like, I know we were talking about what should they do. I think San Diego would be best to not have the morons that run the convention make these decisions. It should be an independent board, because the industry is being affected by this. Because Hollywood, and yes, I work in Hollywood, I make my money through Hollywood. That doesn't mean I agree with everything they do. Hollywood does one thing, and if Dr. Brentley was on this show, he'd tell you that they do. They take something and they run it into the ground. And once they're done, they move on to the next thing. Well, they almost did that to San Diego, and San Diego did not learn a lesson. And they're inviting them to come back and use me again.
Yeah, they were. I mean, there was real talks of San Diego Comic-Con moving to Vegas.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it also LA too.
Yeah. Now here we are. I think I do think that it's gonna kind of steal the focus away from.
I think it is.
And I'm bummed out about it, because it's also the weekend that Deadpool Wolverine comes out.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I guess.
Well, they're doing stunts again. It's not like legitimately you're embracing the community, and it's not like when Marvel Legends will come. They'll have some exclusive Comic-Con stuff, and they'll have their situations. But more or less, what it's going to do is it's going to take the focus away from, again, like if the Fresh Monkey Fiction, we don't know if they're going to be down there. But a lot of these smaller companies that, want people to have, like when they go to independent toy shows, and this is where I give the independent toy shows a little bit more credit than the, people. They're not catering to Hollywood crap. You don't see, like, all the major studios coming in and pushing out their toy shows or toy shows. But comic book shows are no longer comic book. And that's the difference. So you're chasing clout. They will spit you up and use you out. And then you'll go back to those vendors and see. And, after you've kind of done it so many times, we'll see. But I that's what took the air. I wanted to see more of, legitimate fans there at Comic-Con, not people that think it's trendy and cool. It's not a fad. It's just like Smash Burgers. It's a fad. They'll move on from something else when people tire of Smash Burgers. Well, that's what we don't want San Diego Comic-Con to be. We want it to be toys. We want it to be comics. We want to see the artists. We want to walk around the floor and be accessible to people. We don't want the theatrics of Hollywood in it.
Well, I just think it's just gonna force a bunch of like indie people to get together and do their own convention.
I think that's what needs to. I think they need to have competition.
And then, I talked earlier about like holding it on, like if you're small, holding it on like a big convention. And I want to clarify something here. I'm talking like Joefest and then DFW, right, on the same weekend. I'm not about that. Yeah. But if you're a group of people that get together and you start a convention that's solely about the comics, the toys, collectibles, like trading cards, things like that, and then you hold that on the weekend of San Diego Comic-Con, but you hold that in another place that's a little bit more accessible, that has a little bit more availability, and it's just a good old-fashioned convention of toys and comics and anything related. I think you can get people from Comic-Con.
Well, I can tell you something. I would make the transition.
I would.
I haven't seen the last 10 years. I don't think that the con has done itself service. And I think it's hurt more vendors there, because these guys are paying a whole lot of money to be ignored. You know,
Yeah, like $7,500.
yeah, and that's on the cheap side because
Yeah,
that's
and like
that's
the
just the roof in it. That's not your hotel rooms, your flights, your
yeah, and then
shipping in of products.
you have LA Comic Con in October, and
Yeah,
the booth, I think the biggest booth. Well, when I did it, our booth was pretty big.
yeah,
It was like $2,200.
yeah.
So,
Which is
but
reasonable.
but it was. I mean, it's that's nothing. Like
Yeah.
for the convention, for what you get,
Mhm.
what's possible to get. This is
Mhm.
one of the convention posters. But yeah, like I think that there's gonna be something that pops up
Mhm.
and starts to take the place of San Diego Comic Con because it's not what it was when it started. You can't
No.
expect it to be,
Nope.
but it's also it started to become trash. And then
Mhm.
after when they had that debacle year, like in 2020, where they couldn't do anything, it was all digital, that tanked, it didn't work out. And then when they started coming back, like you said, all the true vendors, the comic book guys, the
Mhm.
toy guys, if even if they couldn't afford it, showed up, and here we are. You have the Marvel Cinematic Universe shoving their ass back into the convention hall, creating another like shitstorm of Hall H, and it's not going to be something that's conducive to what the trend is right now for collecting and conventions. And it's really like it more so now than anything, people go to these conventions for like community to try to like, hey, like what's going on, like how are you doing, what's going on. So i
Mhm.
think i think um I think it's going to backfire, to be completely honest with you. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't, the only reason why it doesn't is because of Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah, which I think is, like I said again, I know when we were talking about like it's going to make a massive amount of money. I know the toys have been flying. Well, Wolverine always flies off the shelf, but a lot of the Deadpool and the brand new figures, there's some buzz and excitement around it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want it to have buzz and excitement, but there's a point where you really start like basically using fandom. And so that's what's kind of got me in the point that San Diego Comic Con has not learned its lessons. I've seen some of the exclusives. They've got they're dropping Mattel's dropping a Hot
Yeah,
Wheels Naboo Starfighter, a Royal Starfighter that looks pretty cool. It's a great looking vehicle.
30 bucks.
San Diego, yeah, it's for Hot Wheels is the I think that's about the same price as a Micro Machine too. But it got some cool box art and everything. I know there's some people that generally collect that. Super Seven's doing 2 pop-ups. They're doing a D&D version, Dungeons and Dragons, and then they're doing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, and I guess they're going to make it into a pizza shop. I think it's Mikey's Pizza Shop. I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about the character. But so, they're, the exploitation of the massive stuff that they weren't doing the last couple of years, that's starting to seep its way back in. So, let's just hope that, there's a lot of small toy vendors that will be showing up. Let's hope that they get some attention. People walk the floor. It's not all about waiting overnight at Hall H and sleeping out in rain, or the blazing summer. Because I got a feeling that San Diego Comic Con, if it's already this hot here, it's going to be
It's gonna be
unbearable by the weekend and near the middle of July. I can tell you that.
It's gonna be miserable, dude. I'm saying
Mhm.
right now, it's gonna be
Yeah,
miserable.
yeah, you know. And then on top of that, you're paying for astronomical hotel rooms.
Yeah,
So
yeah, stupid amounts of money.
yeah, yeah. So, but that leads us into the, I guess, our final topic on the night, because we're definitely just rolling through this stuff. You told me something I did not pay attention to it, my friend, and once you told me, I started looking at it. But I'll let you explain what our buddies over at Hasbro, the Marvel Legends team, decided upon doing.
Yeah, kind of weird. So, I'm in it. First of all, I'm
Hmm.
into it.
Yeah,
But over if you go to HasbroPulse.com, this is why it's weird, because it's like the top. But they did they at the top of the Hasbro Pulse website, they have the GI Joe Super 7 Cyborg Cobra Snake armor figure.
I've seen it. Hmm.
It's 11 inches and it's available now. You can buy it. However, it's Super 7, which translates to it's $125.
Yeah, wow. Wow, 11-inch figure. Wow.
An
I don't
11
even
inch
think Odin's not 11, but Odin doesn't cost that, man.
No, but I mean, look, the thing that was cool about it is they have something that's for like in the front, foremost, top product,
Mhm.
and it's not even something that they did.
Yeah, there has to be some kind of exchange or something. Something's in it for Hasbro.
There
Yeah,
absolutely there is. They
yeah.
didn't want to make it. They
Mhm,
licensed it to Super 7. They're
mhm.
pushing it. If it sells out and it does well, Hasbro will then remove the license and create the figures moving forward.
I'm sure. Also, the other thing too was, which was we like to call it, like, we had the whole fatigue video that popped up today about pre-orders.
Mhm.
But the pre-order situation is that, as always, and this is always my fear, that whenever you pre-order something from, like, Hasbro, especially Hasbro, because like NECA Super 7, don't expect that to ever come early. Expect that to actually be pushed out a little bit. But with Hasbro, if you order something, they tell you, well, this will be coming in November. Expect it in the beginning of September. You can never sit
Yeah.
around and do that. And this is what the problem is that now if you ordered the Iron Fist with Luke Cage,
Mhm.
if you ordered which other ones, man? Um,
Taskmaster, Doom,
yeah,
and
Taskmaster, the
Patriot.
Cabal 3-pack.
Mhm.
Yeah. This all
It's all
jumped up
shipping
an
in
extra.
August.
Yeah, it all popped up. Now, here's the bad point, and this is where they don't think. San Diego Comic Con is in July. They're going to do the HasLab, and they're going to have a bunch of other convention exclusives. So you're going to be dropping bucks. Not, well, 30 mid August. You'll be having to pay for the HasLab campaign once it's finished. But there's all kind of stuff they're going to have to do. They're going to have exclusive figures and everything else. You'll purchase that, and you'll go down there and you'll forget, and you'll be in San Diego and you'll be making those rocking purchases and everything. And then you'll be on your way home on the flight and everything. You'll see a
Ding,
notification
ding.
that 5 or 6 Marvel Legends that you ordered like 2 months ago that was supposed to be at the end of the year is going to come smack dab by the time you make it home. And
Yep.
so you got to be thinking that those credit card receipts is going to go up to that kind of scenario. This is the thing. I understand getting it early, but I'm thinking that they might want to be aware, like, wow, we really hit our consumers' pocketbooks a little too much. And we're kind of like, we've got the Cantina they may fund. We've got HasLab that's coming next after that. A bunch of exclusives dropping in that month. And we've been rolling almost every other week. This Friday, there is a Transformer event that's supposed to pop on Hasbro Pulse and everything. So
Odin goes live tomorrow, right?
only goes
Yeah.
like tomorrow. Like I said again, it's just like one after another. It's the avalanche of crap, like that's just coming. I was like, wow. So when you told me it was coming in early, I was like, oh no, man. that's all. It's like I was not expecting that at that time. I was really like, it's kicking the can down the road. Like I'll get these figures, but hey, I don't have to pay for it until like November. Okay, cool. And like, oh no, they'll be dropping in August for you, man. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So,
And then I ordered Strange Tales.
yep.
Um,
I ordered some too. Rad did too.
yeah, I ordered them. I ordered them on Amazon,
Hmm.
and I'm just waiting for it to be like, oh, you're gonna get these early. When I
Hmm.
specifically ordered on Amazon because uh, they're not gonna come until November.
Well,
That's strategic for me, and now I realize it doesn't effing matter because I'm just gonna get notified in August that all my shit shipped because I also still have Street Sharks coming in.
oh, okay. Yeah. Well, see, the good thing about Mattel is notoriously late, though. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah,
The stuff that they're supposed to do normally, if they say it's going to be that date, it'll probably be like weeks after the date. But like Hasbro, it's like they tell you October, you better expect it in July. It just has a
well,
way of popping
speaking
this
of
stuff down.
expectations, there's 12 days left on this Cantina, and
Yeah.
it's at 6,031 backers. I don't think it's gonna make it.
I was just on the Sorlac toy chest on Monday over their channel, and the
Mhm.
guys were talking about that as well. And I think it's going to make it to 8,000 because they always drop in a bunch of international orders at the last minute, and I think it's going to make it to the 8,000 marking. I don't think it's going to hit any other major tiers though. So I don't think you're going. I don't think you're not going to get all 4 tiers or whatever. has many that you're supposed to get done. That's not going to happen. There's going to be some figures ultimately that you're not going to get. The good news is they did say a lot of those figures will be main pipeline figures in different packaging that they're going to bring out, because I think they thought the Cantina was probably a road too tall to bear to really make it. So they kind of like, well, they gave you an out, like, you know. And I think more people's going to buy the basic version than the deluxe.
Yeah, I mean, look, just to get Greedo, like,
yeah,
11,000 backers, that's not happening. 14,000 backers for the tier 2. That's a pipe dream. And then tier 3 is 17,000 backers. Come on, that like you have 12 days left.
Yeah, it's, and 12 days to come up. But like I said again, I've seen this happen before on campaigns where they're like, "Look, it's not going to make it," and then they dumped a bunch of international orders in, and in that last day it starts going. Hey, they own the company. They can make the rules they want to make, man.
Do whatever you want.
Meeks had a point. His last is so we all getting together to play G.I. Joe Wrath Cobra when it comes out.
Well, yeah, I've been playing that thing nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun game, dude.
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said again, I like the old retro kind of games like that. You know,
it's buggy, but
yeah,
sure. I'm playing beta, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well,
it's fun. It's fun. It's definitely a lot of fun.
They'll probably fix that too, though. You know, hopefully.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, like I said, you know, pre-order dilemma that being averted. Hopefully, we can actually, you know, all sleep a little easier now that we know our pocketbooks are going to be burnt like no tomorrow or the next couple of weeks.
When you thought you had money, you don't.
The month of June, July, and August, and everything like that. Oh, let's see. It says, yeah, Sheldon knows beat 'em up party. Well, that used to be different other things when I was high school, Meek. So we'll probably not have the beat 'em up part.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Dude, there's a lot, man. There's a lot happening. Like, there's more pre-orders tomorrow. I did actually pre-order some stuff from Kid Robot that went live.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's all South Park. It was the emo kids.
Okay, yeah.
A limit of like 500 or something. I got those. And then there's Tally.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see South Park, you know Tally. I'm not going to explain what it is that I pre-ordered because I don't think I don't need a copyright strike. Just go look up the San Diego Comic Con Tally exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's a lot, and obviously, if anything happens, we'll be popping on tomorrow with another video. Let's hit them with our updates on the channel real quick.
Yep, let's roll that down and everything else like that. So, like I said, again, we're glad you guys are tuned into us. Now, this is what we do. We have our brother or / sister channel that we've been doing some great promotions with. I popped on their show on Monday. We're going to have Scott Solo pop on Toy Box Chronicles in the next couple of weeks from the Sorlac Digest podcast. But Wednesdays, I know you guys have all the options in the world. We thank you guys for having our options. But what we would like you to ask is start your night at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time with the Fallen Fett Chronicles. It's on the Fallen Fett YouTube channel. And then once you're done with him, bounce over to the Shadow Nose Network and deal with Mr. Maddox and myself at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. And like tonight and every other Wednesday, when we are done in a couple of minutes, we want you to pop over to the Sorlac Digest podcast and check them out. It's on the Sorlac Digest podcast YouTube channel. And if you want to know anything about any Star Wars, let me tell you something. The most knowledgeable guys in the industry when it comes, because Monday I had to like literally go through and like do some Star Wars, like, you know, prepping. And I had like Dr. Brentley and we're doing flashcards and who's this character, because like these guys, you better know your stuff, man, because you're going to get rolled up. But, you know, we want you to spend Wednesday nights with us and the Sorlac Digest and the Fallen Fett. And then on Friday, you know, it's the PixelsPlasticInk. You'll have Rad Chris in, you'll have Dr. Brentley, and then you'll have myself and Mr. Maddox. And that's like Wednesday night. It is 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're thinking about a couple of dual casts. I was talking over to the Sorlac guys, and we were talking at one point, like, we'll see if we can maybe do like an hour before the 7 o'clock, so at 6 o'clock one night, maybe do a big 2 hour spectacular. We're saying something like maybe Friday night, San Diego Comic-Con. That might be kind of cool to all get together or something like that and run the dual cast. And, every now and then just do some special events like that. And, a great group of guys. If you support us, support them. And vice versa. If you popped in, you just saw the subscribe sign and everything, you're from over the Sorlak Digest podcast and you like the stuff that we're doing over here, give us a subscribe as well, man. That's all my little spielo. Did you run the Entertainment Earth scenario before we go?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're trying to get stuff on Entertainment Earth and it's in stock, use our code. It's in the link below. You get 10% off and free shipping on orders 79 or more. You can't beat our code. It's one of the best out there. We appreciate Entertainment Earth. We appreciate the mom and pop stores. Also check out this coming Saturday is Mr. Rad's stores opening on Whatnot. So we're going to be there all monitoring. He's going to try to sell off his collection. And let me explain something to you. He has a collection.
He does. Yeah, he's got one. So, we don't call him Chris Legends for no reason.
And I'm excited because once he does his show, I can finally jump back on Whatnot and start selling all my stuff.
Exactly.
So, yeah, really excited. And then Mr. Storm and Dr. Brentley are going to be doing a Whatnot show with comic sales, and we're just figuring that out. But, hey, we've enjoyed you hanging out with us, but not as much as you've enjoyed hanging out with us. Does that make sense?
It does. But before we go, and just one important thing. Good night, Meeks.
Meeks, yeah. Hey, good night, brother man. Look at here's the thing, Storm. I'm gonna have to see your ass on Friday.
I know.
So I got to take a break because if I keep staring at the sexy that's happening in my camera right now, I'm gonna lose my shit. So. From all of us over here at Toy Box Chronicles and PixelsPlasticInk and everything else in between, we appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, like, follow, thumbs up, thumbs down. You're gonna get a break, take a rest, and then head over to Sarlacc Digest podcast because we'll be there. So you should be there, and that's just the way it works. So if you know, you know, and I'm out.